Good day, Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. Today we're going to give you a little update on some of the progress here in the garden. It is October 14th, so let's get started. It's almost been a month since we planted our fall crop of potatoes, and as you can see, they're all doing good. We're still going to be pushed to get these harvested before it gets too cold. Hopefully we're going to have a late first frost, and if not, we'll just have to put some fleece over them or something. Today I'm doing a little harvesting. We've got a few carrots there. Those Denver half-longs, and some of them actually don't look like Denver half-longs for our stuff here, because these are definitely a lot shorter than normal. Normally they should be about this long, but we have a lot of short stubby, which is fine. They eat the same. Then our onions here are doing good. These are our Texas guanos. The guano is a yellow onion. This particular one is. This is our bunching onions. Both of these are about ready to go out. For sure the bunching onions are big enough now, and put those in the ground. On my parsnips, I've replanted this. This is the third time. Of course, we did get a few from the second and first time, but we're starting to see a few pop up. This has just been a few days, so it's kind of early for being that they're a little bit slower to germinate, but hopefully this time we'll get some parsnips. Our garlic is coming up. It's looking good. I got a weed or two in there need to be taken care of, but it's all starting to germinate. This first is the elephant garlic. It was a little bit slower. This here is another variety. I can't tell you the name. And down here further, this is where we put all the nodules from the garlic. Some of them have popped up already, a couple of them, but they're still waiting on a lot of them to come up. This is where we transplanted our bunching onions in. These will be our seed onions for next year. The cilantro, which it's planted in here tight, it should do fine, but I have plenty of this. I'll do a lot of freezing. I'll vacuum pack it and freeze it. Our radishes, these are French breakfast. They're coming in strong. Won't be long. They'll be ready to start harvesting. These are our onions, and this variety I don't even try to name. It's just well, if it would even focus in on it, but apparently it don't want to. But this is one that I got from Baker Creek, and it's more of a red carrot, and they're doing good. I'll save a few of these for my seed. Let a few of them go to seed. Over here we have our giant red Japanese mustard. This will be thinned out. We'll harvest a lot of this as baby mustard, thin it out so the plants can get bigger. Over here we have our other green mustard. This is a variety we grow every year. I don't exactly know which variety it is, but it's the same way. We'll harvest a lot of this out and go ahead and eat some and process the rest and freeze it. But it's coming on strong. Our turnips, they're doing pretty good. We'll have to come in and thin these out. We'll thin these out for greens, and then let the rest of them make into turnips. This is our kale. We'll have to do the same here, thin it out. we'll just pick some of these and go ahead and eat them, and then we'll let the rest grow, and we'll just pick them as we need them. Over here we have our spinach. It's definitely thick, but we'll do it the same way. As we go, we'll harvest a few plants to get them to where they're spaced out right. Some of them are already kind of spaced, so we won't have to worry about it. But some of them are definitely a little too close. But these were all planted at the same time. You can go back and see that video. That'll give you an idea of how long it takes to get to this stage. A lot of our North Georgia candy roasters are getting ready to be harvested, and of course we have our crossbred ones that cross with the pumpkins. We're going to, in fact, we've got one already. We're going to sample it and see just what the flavor is to decide whether we want to save seed on it. But these are getting close on some. Now, some are not. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. This fence is about 7 foot high, and of course they've taken over it and decided that they want to grow some more, and they are growing there. They're actually growing some out in the grass out there, which creates a problem. I can't mow next to the fence, but we'll let them go and harvest them as they come ready. Now the tomatoes are doing good. They're blooming up a storm. These are Cherokee purples, and they're setting tomatoes. Now a lot of these might not make it, but if they don't, we're not going to worry too much. This was kind of an experiment, and it was really, these were put in a little late, so understandably they've got more of a chance of not making it. But I have plenty of jalapenos, and I have a lot of green tomatoes here, which would make a good salsa verde. I do have some of them ripening up, so I get them occasionally, so it's not like I missed out. But this project was one of those. It was kind of a let's see what happened. These plants have actually only been watered for the first couple weeks in here. Whenever we first got them established, these were all from suckers that were pruned off the original ones and potted in. And after the first couple weeks of watering, these haven't had any water at all except rainfall. So you can see how good they're doing for the lack of maintenance. I have a few rutabagas that were transplanted in just a couple days ago, and some red Russian kale, or ragged jack as some call it. These have just been transplanted. They were actually started, normally I wouldn't transplant, but a couple days ago when it was 92 degrees, I normally wouldn't have done it, and I did it in the daytime early, which is contrary to, but I did keep water to them, and they're doing good. Down further on the row, I have some more red Russian kale that I planted from seed. I was going to see an experiment to see how they did versus transplant to seed, if the seed would catch up with the transplant and come on. The thing I like about transplanting is I can put the plants in at a specific spacing and don't have to thin them. We have some more Denver half longs over here. It's kind of spotted in here. We had vole come in and tear this up and stuff. Trying to deal with them using peppermint oil and cotton balls. We'll put a little on and push down in their holes. Hopefully the scent will run them off. But definitely had a problem with it. And we're hoping to get these Corobi going. These are kind of spaced out, so we had the drip line set up at this pace, and we decided to stick them in. Some of them are way ahead of the others. Hopefully the rest of them will catch up. Same over here as some more Corobis. Been working on the greenhouse. We still got to build the door, which they have the lumber here. It's just a matter of getting the time. We have some plant starts over here. Some are doing pretty good. It's going to be better having the greenhouse, because I can now actually, I don't have to use a tray that drains. I can use one that doesn't drain, so I can fertilize and just water from the bottom, and it should speed up the growth of my plants instead of just watering and letting it run through. My wife says we got way too many onions. This is another crop of onions, needs to be cut. These here were put in September 22nd, so you can see the growth. I'll end up cutting these off and getting some more size on them, but these will grow in here thick. Also, we have these right here. Now these are some little leeks. We'll grow them up a little bit bigger, and then we'll just separate them out and plant them. We have some beets. Now, I haven't had too good of luck with beets this year, and it's possibly part of it's due to my compost. It's still a little coarse and tends to dry out quicker. And I don't know that they're getting their roots down. That with fighting moles and voles, it's been kind of a progress to go through. But we'll see how this does with these. We have a lot of small seedlings here. We got more of these here are red onions, and these here are some more leek, different variety. And these here, these are reds too. These are a little older than those. These were on the 22nd. These here were on the 5th, so you can kind of get an idea of the difference in growth. And these have been cut off one time. The ones that were smaller, the ones still have a bunch of seeds on them, but the ones that are bigger were actually cut off. We have a little fennel coming up. I'm trying to get another crop going. These were inside, and you can see how wiry these are from getting light from the window. I have not a pino here. Something's chewed the leaf off of it. I've had something in there, I think a mouse or something, which I'm trying to deal with in my workshop, and they kept chewing the leaves off my plants. And this is my first leeks that I put in. In my Bright Lights chart, it seems to be outperforming the rainbow chart. Now, I don't know how it'll do as cooler weather comes on, but right now it seems to be performing a little bit better. We'll be harvesting some lettuce leaves today, and we pulled a few off of these for salad earlier in the week, but we'll be harvesting these off. The fennel that we planted earlier is doing good, or most of it. We have a couple of little bitty ones down in there. Hopefully they'll come on, but if not, we won't worry too much about it. But it does look healthy and looks like it's going to do good. And that's what it looks like. Hopefully you enjoyed this. You see kind of the progress of where these are going, where we're going on our little plot here, and give you some encouragement to what'll grow. Now we are in 8B, so some things that we're growing here you probably wouldn't want to deal with and when you're in a colder climate, but a lot of these vegetables that are going out now will stand some pretty good cool weather. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, hit the like button, and share it. Happy gardening.